Speaking of killing things, you killed things in your for your book. Does chicken taste different when you've ripped its head off and drank the blood and poured it over your body? I mean, does it taste better or?
I'll tell you what it does. So I was always an anti-hunter. Never killed things.
You're not vegetarian or anything?
No, I'm not vegetarian, but I grew up on Long Island, and there's a pretty decent bow season for deer on Long Island, and I grew up with, to my mind, very disrespectful hunters who would like throw empty beer cans in our driveway and go on our property, shoot deer, and we'd have these maimed deer that would die on our property who weren't hunted properly, and so I developed this real aversion to hunting. Until I came to this book and I was putting together the wild section and wanted to force myself to reconnect with these ingredients, whether it was foraging or hunting, whatever. And Steve Rinella, all you guys should take a look at him. Steve Rinella is a fascinating guy, excellent writer, and took me on this first hunt. And whether it's slaughtering a chicken or hunting a deer, what's most interesting to me is what happens after the kill is made. So really going through the entire field dressing process.
What is that moment like? I mean, how many people in here have killed an animal and eaten it? Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I killed a cockroach once.
Yeah. What it does.
What is that feeling like? You're sitting there behind and you see. I'm sorry, I don't mean to point. I'll point the gun away.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Like, is there a feeling of guilt about what you're about to do, or is it based on the fact that you're about to eat it different?
I think it's very person by person. I do not have any guilt associated with the hunts that I've gone on. I've gone on a few now, because I use everything. I mean, I have the hides. I'm making gloves out of the hides. I have everything. I use all of it, and I don't have any guilt associated with that. The impact that it has, which I think is very valuable, is it makes me extremely conscious of what I'm eating. And throwing away meat now does make me feel very guilty.
Got it.
And I
do you think that that parents should, take the lessons in the book and take their kids hunting, or I mean, is it?
I think teaching your kids where food comes from is important, absolutely. And I mean, the macro goal of the book, which I talk about, is to try to preserve many independent, small-scale farms as opposed to having all of it go up for grabs when farmers retire in the next, let's say, 10 years, 50% of them or so, to, let's say, Monsanto. Okay, that's like cheap applause for like pointing a finger at Monsanto, but it's pretty accurate. And I think that all of that starts at home when people are voting 3 times a day with what they eat. So I think teaching your kids where food comes from and that there's a cost to eating animal protein.
Yep.
And like, I'm not a vegetarian, I have no plan to be one, but understanding what's involved in procuring that protein, I think, is really important.